Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is gonna be like what I read in October. I think it's gonna end up being, or what I read this week or in October. I don't know. It's gonna be a weekly one or a monthly one or a 2-week one. We'll see the footage how it goes. But I wanted to do a spooky TBR for October, so I'm gonna show you guys that first, and then I'll show you guys some other things that I've gotten, just to do a little haul, you know. But this is technically it. So we're gonna start off with the top one, which is Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shay Earnshaw. This is obviously, well, I guess not obviously, not everyone has seen The Nightmare Before Christmas, but this is what happens after The Nightmare Before Christmas. I started it. I am only on page 17. I fell asleep, but yeah. And then I bought some spooky bookmarks. I'm gonna show them to you. I have 2 in books and then the other ones are out, but whatever. So I bought this bookmark and it literally fit perfectly with this book, and it's like I obviously need to use it. Like I said, I'm only on page 17. It's just okay right now. There's not much going on, but we're honestly just getting like an introduction or the sense of like what happened right after that. So yeah, it's from Sally's point of view, so I'm excited, to say the least. Let me move some stuff around. The next book I have is stuck. It's a graphic novel. It's called Hooky. It's about it says 2 twins, 1 prophecy, a whole lot of hijinks. So I just know that they're witches, and it seems like a fun little cute graphic novel, so I'm excited. I hope I love it, because if not, I'm gonna be so sad. But yes, I haven't started this, but this is something you can read in a day. I mean, she is chunkier, and like the pages have a goodish, actually no, there's not that much writing, but I'm excited for it. I do have a couple of Junji Ito mangas that I can add, but October is a really busy month in school. I have to turn in so many assignments. It's not even funny. So we're gonna see how much I really get to read, because those 2 books are physical reads. Obviously the graphic novel can't be audiobook. This one, if I do read it, which is The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Actually, I never told you guys who Hooky was by. Hooky is by Miriam Bonastre Tur. So this is the book of the month for March of 2022. I got it because I have the other book by this person, this author. I'm not sure if she's a female. It's called, what was it called? The Sundown Motel, and it was okay. And then I was like, I like kind of spookier thriller books, and then yeah, I'm planning on doing this one through audiobook if obviously I get to it, so I'm excited for that one. And the next one is The Ex-Hex, which is from October 2021. It's the book of the month. All I know is that it says never mix vodka and witchcraft. That I guess she's a witch, and like she had a boyfriend and they broke up, and she does witchcraft on her ex. That's all I know. But I know it's a romance, so we'll see. This one might be physical, might be audio, we'll see. This next one I'm currently reading, and it's another book of the month pick. It is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, and it's from May 2022. I'm currently on chapter 9, and I'm using one of my new bookmarks, which is the Spooky Book Club. Let's see it. There you go. I received this one today. It's by Bloomingly Bookish. I don't know where the Nightmare Before Christmas one is from. I'm sorry, but yeah. If you guys want to know, you can ask me and I'll link it down below. But right now, I have no idea, and it doesn't say it on the bookmark. So far, it's her moving to the hacienda and knowing more of like her backstory. But we haven't learned much. But I am excited to continue it. I love spooky, scary books. So October and November, I try to make it just like spooky books. I remember, not last year November, the year before that, I read so many books in November because it was like back to back. It was like the house of, what the heck is it called? The Haunting of Hill House, Something About the Castle, which is also by her. I read so many spooky books, so many spooky books. So this is like when I thrive because I love spooky books and thrillers so much. I think spooky books are like my favorite genre, but it's so hard to find like good scary books where you're like actually scared and you're like, oh my god. Because so many like horror books, it's like either very gory or just like, wow. Like I feel like it's very hard to scare someone with a book because you can't do like a jump scare. So I feel like they have to work a little bit harder, but so far I am loving the book. I think it's a horror book. I think it is. It's like Mexican Gothic, it said, and I loved Mexican Gothic, which was a little bit more gory, but I really did enjoy it. So I'm just excited for this. I'm currently reading it, like I said. I'm doing it through audiobook. I listened to the first 8 chapters on my way to and from school. So tomorrow I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna try to listen more to it at night. So I'm very excited about the Hacienda. I made a lot of progress on the Hacienda. I was on chapter 9. I'm currently on chapter 21, which is page 223. I think I'm like a little bit further in because I'm listening to it through the audiobook through Libby, and it technically says I am 67% of the way through. It's an 11-hour audiobook. I have 3 hours and 40 minutes left, but I listened to it at double speed, so it'll be like an hour and 50 minutes. So we're gonna see what happens. So far, it's okay. I know that's like such a used word with me. Like I loved the beginning. It was really nice. Felt kind of spooky. Like there's still like stuff in it that makes it seem spooky, but I feel like it's also leaning into like a relationship, and I just wanted it to be spooky, which is like very odd of me because I'm like, oh, I like when like even a fantasy book has a little bit of romance. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be a romance book, but like a little bit here and there, to spice it up a bit. But here I just feel like just give me the spooky stuff. You know what I mean? Like I just want spooky. So like I said, I am enjoying it. So far it feels like a 3.5 stars, so it is good, don't get me wrong. It has like the little spooky aspects, but it hasn't really like scared me. Like I remember listening to Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I would listen to it at night and like in my room, and it was like dark, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm gonna die. I love that book. I gave it 5 stars. The ending of Home Before Dark did kind of trigger me a little bit, but I did love the book. Even though the ending triggered me, I still give it 5 stars. So I really want like scary, spooky, like atmospheric books. And this one is not very atmospheric. It's more like descriptive, I feel like. Like, oh my god, I felt something touch my back. It's like, okay, where's the spooky atmosphere? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like for a book, it needs to like set the mood, the atmosphere, and then like all these things happening. And, you know what I mean? Just because it's a lot harder to get scared in a book because it's not like jump scares or you're not like actually seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, obviously while we're reading it or listening to it, we picture it in our minds, but it's not the same as like having the actual visuals. So I just feel like that makes it a little bit harder, and I feel like when you write a scary book, you have to do that much more work. So, but so far the Hacienda is 3 stars. I usually get bothered in like bilingual stuff when they try to be too Hispanic, but like in an American way, in the sense of like you're talking and you just throw like a random like word in Espanol. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like that's just like, ew, no. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like it. But I thought I was gonna feel that way with this one because they throw in like random Spanish words, like when he's like Doña Beatriz and stuff like that. But it sounds very like normal, and I don't know if it's because of the audiobook, if the people that are narrating the audiobook make it just like flow. Maybe if I was like physically reading, I'd be like, ew, no. But in this, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be like, oh my god, I'm Hispanic because I'm cool. You know what I mean? So I do like it. This is set in Mexico, by the way, just like Mexican Gothic. And it is set in 18 something. 1823. So at first I didn't know it was set in that time. So I was like, what the heck? Women, like, why does she have no rights whatsoever? But then I saw when it was based on it, it makes sense that women had no rights. Not that it makes sense that we didn't have rights, but like it makes sense that she doesn't have rights because we didn't have rights during that time. I finished the Hacienda. I just hit myself, so I can take off the bookmark now. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I enjoyed the book, but I wasn't in love with it in any way, shape, or form. It was enjoyable. It was a nice audiobook. I guess I wasn't obsessed with the ending because it was kind of like, I wouldn't say an ambiguous ending, but it was very like open-ended, like what could happen next, you know? I guess there's space for a second book, but like at the same time no, but whatever, that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. On Goodreads I'm gonna put 3 just because it didn't have enough to get me to 4, but it was an enjoyable book. I do prefer this over some other horror books I've read that haven't really been like scary or freaky at all. So we finished the book. I haven't read anything else from Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. If you can hear my dogs barking, just go with it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember, but I said, obviously you do, I'm the one who doesn't remember because it was the clip before this. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna finish it this week. It was the first week of October and I was like, I'm doing so good with my reading. It's currently 8 p.m. on October 29th. So it wasn't a weekly vlog, or this was split into 2 vlogs. So I was doing good, I was reading, but then life happened and I didn't get much reading done. So I'm here to kind of update you guys on what I have been able to read. So we're starting off with The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I finished it. I listened to it on audiobook. It was a good book. It was like a fun time, but it wasn't anything great. So I did give it 3 stars because I did enjoy it. I feel like they should have dived in more into that magical aspect. It was more so romance than like spooky romance. Do you know what I mean? So I wish it would have dived into more of like the spooky magical side of it, you know, the ghosts and all that stuff, rather than what it did. So like that's why it's 3 stars, because I did enjoy the story, but I wish it would have given us more of that Halloween spooky witchy feel rather than what we got. It was very much about the 2 main characters, which I get it, it's a romance, and honestly I like all of my books with at least a little bit of romance, but I feel like this was very much so just like a romance and not like a spooky romance. Do you know what I mean? Like a witchy romance. It didn't really feel like they were like witches. So that's what I didn't love about it, that it didn't feel like they were witches. They just felt like regular people going through life or whatever. But it was enjoyable, so it was a 3 stars. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those people that gives these like great reviews. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It's a fun little read, but if you're looking for something spooky or witchy, this is not it. At least for me, it didn't feel spooky or witchy at all. And then second of all, let me move this. Hold on, because I did get a little bit more ahead here. So for Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, at first I started physically reading it, but then I got the audiobook from Libby and I had finished The Ex-Hex, so I started it and I'm on chapter 9, which is page 114. So this is what I've read and this is what I'm missing. Great, the air turned on. So it's a okay book. Honestly, I feel like it's not giving much. It's not giving those like the Nightmare Before Christmas vibes. It's not there. Like, I am enjoying the book just because of the fact that like I already know like Sally and Jack and Oogie Boogie and like these characters, even though the book is mainly about her and they don't make much of an appearance in the book, they are very much side characters. So I feel like this is like a self-discovery journey for her. I'm at the place where she just like learned like huge news. Oh my god, I'm not in chapter 9. I feel like I'm way more ahead than this. Anyway, yeah, because I'm like 50%, whatever. I'll look it up now. But it's just been like, okay. I feel like not much has happened. It's basically her finding her place in this world and dealing with being called a queen now that she's married to Jack, and not really feeling like she belongs there. So like I said, it's a self-discovery book, but for Sally. So, you know, like the things that happened had to happen for her to discover who she is. So it's okay. It has 3-star vibes just because of the nostalgia of the movie, and like I love the movie so much that I'm like, I can't give it less than 3 stars, but because of the content of it, I can't give it more than 3 stars unless like something blows me away. But like what just happened, the plot twist that just happened, I kind of guessed it as soon as they said something, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure everyone will be able to guess that. So it's okay. Like I would read it just because it's like a continuation of The Nightmare Before Christmas, but not really because it's just Sally. Anyway, so I was reading that. I started reading Hooky. I'm only on page 56, so not very far in. I didn't say who this was by. Long Live the Pumpkin Queen is by Shay Earnshaw, and then Hooky is by Miriam Bonastre. Sorry, I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure I butchered that, but sorry. It's okay so far. I want more of that witchy vibe, but like I said, I'm only 56 pages in. I got a good chunk to go to get those vibes. So far, it's just an okay book, which is honestly the theme of everything I've read in October. And then lastly, I'm reading Bunny by Mona Awad. I am on chapter 9, which is page 65. I'm obsessed with my bookmark. Oh, no, you hang up first. No, you hang up. I'm reading. Sorry, I said the movie line. So far, it's a lot of, I don't want to say nothing, but nothing. We're just kind of getting to know these bunnies and like the fact that like she doesn't get along with them. But I'm pretty sure that's in the synopsis. Yes. So she gets an invitation to hang out with the bunnies, and like she's like, oh my god, like so excited, but not really, because like she wants to hate them, but like she wants to be part of them. So okay. Anyway, so Bunny, everyone has said it's a very weird book. You either love it or you hate it. So far, I'm just like okay about it. Like I said, it's a recurring theme throughout this vlog. So far, it's not giving me much. It's not. The Smut Salon, I was reading it this whole time as Smut Saloon. I was thinking of like, you know, like a saloon, and it's not. It's just salon, which kind of like brought it down for me. I wanted it to be saloon, not salon. Anyway, so the Smut Salon did not make much sense to me. Like the fact that like what they made her do, like is that like an initiation thing, or did they just, it's her? And then the fact that like she so badly wants to be different, and like not like she was like, I don't know how to explain it. She's one of those like, I'm not like other girls, I feel like. But I don't know. So far the vibes are meh. I do hope it gets better because I've seen a lot of people like love the book, but for me so far it's just okay. So, you know, I got it for my friend and I was like, yeah, we're gonna be like bunnies, you know what I mean? Like, because I see books with Chloe and she's obsessed with it, and it's like Chloe Bunny and Caitlin Bunny, and I love it. I love that for them, and I love that they love the book. But so far, I'm not in the same space as them. I wish I was. I want to be Ellie Bunny, but we're not there. We're not at using bunny in our name just yet. So, like I said, the books are pretty just okay. It's a recurring theme. But I might get some audiobook done tonight, tomorrow, and on Halloween, because I have to drive to school and from school. So hopefully by Halloween I'm done with Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. And to be honest, for Bunny and Hooky, it's probably not gonna happen this month. I cannot even speak. But we'll see. I haven't been very much in the reading mood just because I've had so many assignments. So when I'm not doing assignments for school, I'm very much in like I just want to watch something, like mindlessly watch something rather than like having to read. And then work has been super busy because I do work at an elementary school and we're doing like a haunted house for the kids. It was also Hispanic Heritage Month, so we had the show. And it's been a lot. With school, work, assignments, it's just been a lot. Okay guys, so now I'm actually closing off this vlog. It's November 1st. So my camera has no battery, so I have to do this really quickly. I finished Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and like I said, it's 3 stars purely because I already like knew the characters. If not, this would be a 2-star read for me. It was an okay book. It was a little enjoyable, but I just feel like it wasn't giving what the movie gives. Like, I feel like in the movie it's Jack finding who he is, and then sorry, this is like still trying to focus. And then here she's Sally's trying to find who she is, but I just feel like in the movie there was a lot more going on. It was more entertaining than here. This kind of felt boring in a lot of parts. So for nostalgia's sake, and just because I loved the characters in the movie, because I love the movie, I'm giving this 3 stars, but not because of the content in the book. Not saying you shouldn't read it, because maybe you do enjoy it, but for me, it's just okay. And then I finished that audiobook, and I picked up Fairest of All by all I see is Valentino. I don't see the name. But I'm on page 160 out of 250, so I'm probably gonna finish this tonight. But I want to include this in this vlog. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. So far, it hasn't been bad. It's nice to see like a different story about the evil queen. You know what I mean? Just like why she was vain and like why she wanted to kill Snow White because of her beauty and stuff like that. You know, you kind of see her trauma. So in that sense, it's not bad. But this is what, middle grade, young adult. So it's not like, wow, it's not that fleshed out. But it's still pretty enjoyable. 3-star realm, honestly. But not bad. Honestly, I think it's better than Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. So I'm enjoying it. And I saw that they had the audiobook on Libby. It brings other 2, but like I'm just gonna read this one because it's the one I have. And I was like, I know that if I don't pick it up by audiobook, I'm not gonna read this like anytime soon. And I was like, it's still kind of like Halloween-y because it's like the evil queen and she's a villain or whatever. So yeah, this is it. This is all I read this month, which was barely anything, which sucks. I think I read like actually like 3 books in October. That has to be one of my lowest months, and May. But honestly, I had a lot of assignments, a lot of stuff, and I needed that break. The camera turned off because it doesn't have battery, so I'm just gonna finish it really quick. Hopefully in November I read more, and yes, thank you guys for watching.